but would love to hear your thoughts on these things, Thabiti, and yeah, we'll just jump in with our ignorant comments and wisecracks. You had one lined up to go first, yeah? This was kind of a theological one?
Yeah. When I was a missionary, we often got the question of, can we treat the God of the Bible and Allah as the same? So, like, can we use it as an evangelistic tool of calling Muslims to Allah? Is the God of the Bible the same as Allah, or is he different?
Start with easy questions, brother. It depends is the answer. So Allah is just a word for God, right? And so you may be in some context where you're talking sort of generically about God. And Muslims intend to believe in the God of the Bible, the God who gave us the Bible, et cetera. So again, in that sense, we would understand us to be in that broad general sense, all in the sort of Abrahamic faiths, right? But no, at the point where you're talking then about specific faith and trust in a God that saves you, well, then we have to make some distinctions, right? And we would have to go so far. So our Muslim friends would say we are committing blasphemy by making partners with God because they misunderstand the Trinity, right? And we would understand that there's one God. And we would have to, if we're going to be fully honest, have to return the favor and say, in denying the Trinity, you actually create an idol. One of us are idol worshipers, right? And so I think you'd want to make it that sharp, that clear, graciously, but you'd want to make it that clear. Say, hey, friend, in the same way that you think I'm committing blasphemy by believing in the Trinity, I actually think you're committing idolatry by denying the Trinity. Right, and that's both of those things, right, have significant spiritual consequence. And so in that sense, no, we're not coming to the same God when we begin to talk about sort of specific salvific kinds of issues.
So you probably wouldn't use Allah as a term because it would be too confusing.
It would be
Gotcha.
I think it would be confusing. Yeah. I think it would be better, more honest even, for me not to use that term. Yeah. Realizing that in the minds of most people, it is significantly associated with a particular religion, Islam, right?
This is a question from ignorance, but so a Muslim who converts to Christianity, say in a Middle Eastern country where Arabic is the primary language or whatever, are they still referring to the triune God as Allah because Allah means God?
So, again, some may. Language is contextual, right?
Sure.
So there are words that we use, words like here,
yeah.
Right, that have no meaning without some reference.
Yeah.
Right? There's a sense in which that's true of Allah or true of the word God.
Yeah.
We could all go outside and meet 100 people.
That's right.
And 90 of them say, I believe in God.
I believe in God, sure.
But that, without a reference, a specific reference, that actually has no meaning.
Yeah.
Right, so what God? Who do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah.
So I just think that the answer is more contextual. I'm sure there would be some Muslims who still say Allah for multiple reasons. There may be some who are Christians who have still not yet made their faith known to their families. And they're using that in a way that's protective. Or there may be others who are using it in common conversation in a very general sort of sense, et cetera. And so I'm sure that there are Muslims who are doing that. I do think, however, we want to be careful at certain points to help people make a decisive break and a decisive identification with Christ in the way that they talk, et cetera, and not be wrongly deceptive.
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
good.